I think it's important that this woman understand the position she's in. Is a very large, very unhealthy woman who is insulting incels. Now, by all means, you can be an incel and insult a morbidly obese or morbidly obese woman. You can be a morbidly obese woman and insult incels. But I think a little humility goes a long way.
So what is going on here? Well, this is a video that Tim Pool put out a few weeks ago, and I felt like I really had to say something about it because there's a lot of stuff in here that is inaccurate. I couldn't let it slide, you know. I gotta put out better information than what has been put out in this video. So let's go ahead and we'll get into it, and I will explain the misinformation that is here. Before we get started, please remember to like, comment, and share. I hope today is the day that I earn your subscription. I hope you all had a happy Thanksgiving, and you can find me over on Rumble and on Twitter. Now let's see what Tim has to say about this morbidly obese woman.
In this segment, I bring you, I don't know, ignorance, arrogance, and a complete and total lack of self-awareness. Ah, yes, I hypocrite posts. Oh, come on. I hope you are all ready for this one, as a woman with no room to speak is critical of men. Here we go.
Can you explain what an incel is?
So an incel is just like someone who's involuntarily celibate. That loser sitting on Reddit for 23 hours a day with Cheeto dust and empty Mountain Dew cans all around them. And it just has a real stank smell that is involved with these people. I'm just going to paint you an image. And like the fedora is a little crusty and the neck beard is strong, but the facial hair is weak.
Okay, I'm going to pause real quick. And for those who are just listening, this woman is moribundly obese. I know. Everyone right now is screaming, but Tim, certainly you mean morbidly.
All right, I'm not going to go into Tim's definition of moribund versus morbid. It doesn't matter. The fact is this woman just described what an incel is, and she's wrong. That's not what an incel is. Incels come in all different shapes and sizes. The fact that she's like, oh, it's a guy with a neck beard and a fedora who smells of Cheeto dust, or he stinks and he's covered in Cheeto dust, and he's on Reddit. Elliot Roger. He was the guy who launched all this incel nonsense off. I'm not saying that he was the guy who started it, but he was the guy who brought it to the forefront. And he was not at all like what she describes here. He was a very attractive young man who had a nice car, and he came from a family that had money. And he was educating himself at a well-known university in Southern California. So that is incredibly wrong.
I think it's important that this woman understand the position she's in. Is a very large, very unhealthy woman who is insulting incels. Now, by all means, you can be an incel and insult a morbidly obese or morbidly obese woman. You can be a morbidly obese woman and insult incels. But I think a little humility goes a long way. And this woman should be saying things like, first of all, she's wrong about incels, but she should be saying things like, we need to respect people and try and help them.
You see, Tim, you're asking the woke to be respectful, and they just can't do that. This woman here is freaking... I've heard stories that the Chinese people who make our clothes cannot believe there are human beings as large as, say, this woman here. It's not something that they have a concept of. Now, of course, things are always changing, and China has become much more modern, so they probably have the internet and see images like this and see these people who are humongous.
Humongous.
Let's get back in and see what he has to say.
She came out and said, I can't really paint a picture of incels for you. I mean, people come in all different shapes and sizes. And I do think that I'm no one to talk to insult someone else. So blah, blah, blah. Instead, let's play the rest of the video.
And there's a bald spot in the back, and you can just see the fedora just hanging on for dear life. And he's sitting there muttering under his breath about how like Jessica Alba's ugly.
Right.
You know,
literally,
like
yeah.
that's what you're talking about.
It's not.
I don't... Muttering under his breath about how Jessica Alba is ugly. Jessica Alba is still beautiful. Even today, she's like 40 or something? She's still really, really pretty. Well, I don't understand what is going on here. I mean, Jessica Alba is one of the great beauties of our time. At least she was when she was younger. So I don't know anybody who would say, oh yeah, Jessica Alba is not attractive. I've never heard any human being be like, oh yeah, Jessica Alba is nothing. No. Never heard that. There might be some people like, well, you know, she's not my cup of tea, but she's definitely attractive. But that's just ridiculous. There are certain things that human beings look for to make a person beautiful. We all subconsciously understand what is attractive and what is not, no matter how much the woke want to push it. Oh, look, beauty at any size, and this creature here in this video is attractive. No, that's not true. She's just not.
explain what an incel is?
So an incel is just like someone who's involuntarily celibate.
That's true.
That loser
No.
sitting on Reddit for 23 hours a day with Cheetah dust and empty Mountain Dew cans all around them.
Here's the scary reality. That is not what incels are. And I think people need to understand this because this view that she has, this fictitious view of what an incel is, it's just meant to insult guys, I guess. The scary reality is that many incels are average-looking dudes wearing jeans and a t-shirt who don't know how to socialize properly or don't have much to their name or confidence. And that is the scary reality.
It goes beyond that. It's even scarier than that, Timothy. Because there are handsome men, attractive men who cannot attract a woman. Physically appealing men who cannot get with a woman. Elliot Rodger, just a perfect example. He had everything going right as far as his appearance and the financial side of things. He was in a perfect position to be able to get a woman. But he was so lonely that he couldn't take it anymore. There's more to the story, I know. That I'm sure that his childhood was not something that was supportive of him and his emotional needs. It's not just average looking guys. It's attractive men too.
Incel means involuntarily celibate. It means that these individuals want to hook up with women, but can't. Now, the first thing I think is wrong with the idea is that if you're a dude and your mentality is that you want to get laid and that's it, you're already broken. You're already broken, man. I'm sorry. Too many.
I'm not sure what Tim means when he says that. If he just means that men are looking for adult relationships, that's wrong, Tim. No, you're wrong. That's normal. Men want adult relationships. If he's saying that men are just looking to hook up, that's all they want is like just one girl after another, after another, after another. Yeah, you probably should be checking yourself. I understand those urges, believe me, but at the end of the day, what does that give you in life? What is it is that what you're looking for? Well, are you going to be satisfied and fulfilled in the long run? Is that going to give you the life that you need and want in the long run?
Many young guys think sex is everything and that's all they want. Meanwhile, conservatives are like, it's very good that you're not having sex and you should get married and then, have a family. But too many other guys online see this sex-driven hookup culture and think something's wrong with them because they're not doing it. It's fascinating. So there was this study that, a poll survey came out, showed that men under 30 are not having sex. They're virgins, more so than women. Though virginity is increasing between both males and females, it's skyrocketing among young males. Seamus Coughlin on the show, who's a conservative Catholic, said, based. I said, no, it's not. It's not based at all. See, the immediate assumption was they're not having sex. Good. Bro, 23-year-olds should be having sex with their wives. They should get married, and then they should have families.
That's a big ask there, considering modern economics and our modern culture. 23-year-olds are not as mature as they were decades and centuries ago. I mean, I had to study these paintings when I was in college. Art history class. I had 11 art history courses. And you see the paintings of these teenagers, and they look like super stern and serious because they've already had to work and like support either their biological family or support their new married into family, etc. They've already had to do these things that make you an adult. And now you got Lizzo twerking and playing a glass flute on stage when she's in her 30s. Yeah. All right. Well, we are becoming more and more childlike as the centuries go by because we have more and more comfort. So the odds of a 23-year-old getting married and settling down and having a family becoming less and less likely.
They ain't doing that. That's not happening. I think what we're seeing is really fascinating, and let's throw some criticism at this woman here. Okay, look, I hope she gets the help she needs because she looks like she's about to die, and I'm not saying it as a joke. I'm not saying it to be mean. I don't do that. This is not shock content. I'm saying please get help. But too many people are enabling this woman. You see, I see a lot of guys complaining about women who want money. Women who say like a guy's got to spend $200 on a date, and then a bunch of men are like, oh, how dare you say such a thing? Men are providers. Women have babies. That is not an absolute position. Everyone can be whatever they want to be at the granular level. But on the macro, that's what humanity has been for a long time. Men would go hunt and take risks, and they would bring back and provide for their wives, and their wives could have children. So men like pretty women. Women like high-status, successful men with resources. That's just reality. So women like this who are...
Yes, but Tim, you're missing the point of the whole $200 date. That's BS. If you're a single guy and you're going on dates, let's say you just go on one date a week. Dude, $200 adds up quick. That's $800 a month. Not to mention gas. And is that $200 spent on the woman only? So if that's $200 on the woman only for that date, then how much are you spending on yourself as well on that date? You know, that's just an unrealistic way to pursue dating. Later on in your relationship, yeah, you can increase the amount of money that you're spending on the person, but your goal should not be to get a man who can just throw money at you. What the hell does that say about you as a person? I want a man who can just spend whatever amount of money that I want on a date. What now? Why don't you try having an enjoyable connection with the person that you're on the date with? Go do something fun that you'll both enjoy, or go just, have an adventure, whether that costs you nothing or costs you $500. Don't have that expectation. It's got to be X amount of money or else it's no good. No, I mean, I went. I didn't go on. It was on a date, but this is something that I would have liked to have. It would have been fun for me to take a girl with me. Had to get up early in the morning. This is shortly after I moved to California. Get up early in the morning. Met up with this guy. He took me out to the middle of the desert to his friends who owned hot air balloons, and we just went up in the hot air balloons. It wasn't a great experience. It wasn't like, oh my God, this is the most amazing thing I've ever done in my entire life. I can't wait to do it again. But it was something different, and it was something that I would like to. It was a little adventure that I went on that day. So something that I would like to take a woman with me on these little different adventures. It's the same thing with my wife. It's like, yeah, we go do like a little adventure here and there when we have time. It's not very, very common, but yeah.
Insulting incels are the same, in my opinion, as the guys insulting women who want guys with money. Now, here's the difference. Or I should say, not the difference, but here's the truth, ladies and gentlemen. This woman could cut the carbs, start exercising, and improve herself and increase her.
Okay, that's flat out wrong. I cannot let that slide. And this is what makes me so angry about these people who think they know about how to lose weight. Carbs have basically nothing to do with it. I eat white rice. I've just made up a batch of white rice. I just ate a freaking chocolate brownie. Well, I guess all brownies are chocolate. I just ate a brownie that I made myself. I eat ice cream. I eat cookies. I eat carbohydrates. I am not fat. And there are people out there watching this video who've known me since I was a child and can be like, yeah, dude, he's never been fat. And I used to walk around when I was a kid with a box of cookies everywhere I went. Box of chocolate chip cookies. Everywhere I went. Everybody has different biochem. I'm not stupid. I know how this works. The fact is, carbohydrates are probably not your problem. Simple carbohydrates is what it is anyway, because guess what vegetables are? They're mostly carbohydrate. So if you cut carbs, that you could lose weight, maybe, depending on your biochem. The thing is, cut your calories. Make sure you're eating an appropriate amount of calories for your size. Multiply your weight by 14. Your current weight, whatever that is, if it's 100 pounds, multiply by 14. If you eat fewer calories than that resulting number, you will lose weight. If you eat more calories than that resulting number, you will gain weight. That's it. You can go on MyFitnessPal. It's free. You can keep track of everything you eat. You can get a food scale. They're like $15. And then you can weigh out all your food if you need to. It's really not difficult. It just takes a little bit of effort to keep track of all this. And eventually you get your diet down so that every day you're eating, okay, well, I'm eating this for breakfast, I'm eating this for lunch, I'm eating this for dinner, whatever, however many meals you have. You eat the same things, or you change it up every day, but it's like, okay, Tuesday is the day I eat this stuff. Wednesday is the day I eat this stuff, and so on and so forth. And so then you're always at that caloric deficit. And so if you're trying to lose weight, you're eating less. It's not about carbohydrates. I don't like these people like, oh, it's carbohydrates. No, I've been eating junk food my whole life. The highest my body fat has ever been measured at is 13%. I weigh 100 today. I weigh 139.4 pounds. That's not heavy at all for a man. So don't even get me started on this. This thing makes me so angry when people are like, oh, carbohydrates are evil. Arr! No. I know a guy who competes in bodybuilding, and before he shows, he eats cookies. So it's not carbohydrates. It's your diet overall. It's just basically what the main thing is calories. Eat fewer calories, you'll be fine.
And increase her sexual market, reach. And guys can figure out how to make money. They can exercise. They can increase their value as well. Some things are very hard to overcome. Tall women have it a little harder. Short men have it a little harder. But you can certainly overcome these things. It's entirely possible. Tom Cruise isn't very tall, and he's probably one of the most sought after guys in the world. I mean, he's super rich and super famous. But here we go. Men get stressed when their wives make more money than they do. You see, a guy can be ugly and still land a super babe because it's different between men and women. But you know what the issue is? The issue here is that divorce goes up if a wife earns more than her husband.
Now, I'm not going to deny this outright, but I think that the issue here ultimately comes down to the value of the man in the relationship. Okay? If you're living in a city setting where everything is just, you go to your apartment and you hang out with your wife, and then you go out on the town and you have an evening together, and then you go back home, what are you bringing to the table? You're not bringing really anything because everything is already set up for you. So once the woman starts earning more, she starts looking for other options that can be, maybe get her more out of the relationship. My two brothers, we make less money than our wives. Now, this is just a recent phenomenon for me, but I bring so much to the table. I bring the language barrier. I understand the customs and the language perfectly in the United States, right? Because I've been here my whole life. She has not. So there's value in what I bring to the relationship besides just money. So I think that you have to make yourself valuable in the relationship. My brothers have been married for decades, and there's no sign of divorce happening. So it's all a matter of what you bring and what you can offer in the long run.
And this is the point. Now, this legal office, this law office says female breadwinners are becoming more common, but it's true. The studies show that if a woman earns more than the man, a divorce is substantially more likely. And there's a couple reasons for it. There are a lot of women who are in marriages who can't leave because they have no money. And they're worried they'll be homeless or won't be able to eat. And there are a lot of a lot of it is actually women feel they don't need the man. Now, certainly women can be unhappy and feel they need the man. That's basically why they don't leave. But there's also a very real component to attraction between men and women, where men want beautiful women and women want high status men. This means as women get older, there's a concern the guy's going to be looking at younger girls. And if men don't make money, women are going to be looking at other guys. That's a reality. But the big issue I see today is everybody seems to think they are entitled. Communism! That's what I'm going to call it. It's social communism, I guess. A dude who thinks a woman is wrong for not wanting to date him because he doesn't got money is the same as a morbidly obese woman thinking that she's entitled to hot guys. You're not. The dating pool will be small for you. You are deserving of nothing, and everyone has a right to what they like. What I mean to say is they have a right to like things. If this woman likes, big 6'5", super rich dude, she's allowed to like him. Guess what? He's probably not going to go for you. Maybe some guys will, though. They exist. There are also women who like dudes who want to be stay-at-home dads. That exists, too. Nothing's absolute. You can find what works for you. But it's the reality, man. Everybody thinks they're owed.
Well, part of the problem with this woman is not only is she humongous,
Humongous.
and she's put no effort into her appearance either. And I actually cannot stand seeing women who put on all this makeup and do their hair and they're huge. It's like, why are you even bothering? Work on your diet, work on exercising, and then worry about what your face and your hair look like. Because I would date a girl with, no makeup on and hair like this. Wouldn't even think twice about it. In fact, I prefer women who don't wear makeup. But there's just absolutely no way I would be into this physique. Oh, man. Can't even begin to think about what that would be like.
I'll give you an example. We put the Infringed documentary out on timcast.com, members only. So it means you got to pay $10 to be able to watch it. You can cancel afterwards. And there are people, of course, being like, put it up for free. Communism. Everybody.
Well, Tim, sorry to burst your bubble here, but I'm probably going to see that movie for free. There's ways, right? Eventually it'll probably be for free. I mean, eventually it's just going to be like, hey, we've made all the money we can really make off of this. We're just going to release it for free. Maybe I'll have a friend who pays for it, and then I get to watch a copy of it with him or something, So I probably won't pay any money to see this movie. I've not bothered to purchase it yet. It's been out for a few weeks now, and just sorry, Tim. That's just the reality. It's eventually going to be seen by everybody who wants to see it, whether they pay for it or not.
He's got it in them. Everybody wants something for free. It cost us a lot of money to make that documentary, and it's costing us 6 figures in marketing already. And we'd like to make that money back. Why? So we can make more of them. That's the reality. You have these women like her acting like she's better than anybody else. Dude, come on. Me, I know it. I got crooked teeth, whatever. I'm genetically missing a tooth. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm better than anybody else. I am what I am. I got what I got. I can get what I can get. Things are going all right for me. Life is just what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm 5'10". Probably would be better if I was 6 foot tall or 6'1", but I'm not. And I guess it's better that I'm not 5'8", whatever. But it is what it is. That's the thing. There are a lot of people who I see, like I got like a gray right here coming in my beard or whatever. And people ask me like, why I didn't get my teeth fixed. Like, Tim, you make so much money. Why don't you get your teeth fixed? Why don't you dye your beard? Why don't you get hair transplants or something? And I'm just like, you know what, dude? My attitude is the world is the way it is. And there are real things that we should be better with. So what did I started eating better. I cut out carbs, lost a lot of weight. I fluctuate, right? So it's like in like 2018, I lost a lot of weight, and then we moved out to West Virginia, and then we had no area to skate or exercise, and I just slacked off, and then started gaining weight again. Then I cut out all the carbs, started skating more, and lost a lot of weight. And I'm like, look, that's on me. I can choose to improve things like that. But like getting surgery or whatever, you do you, man. Like that's your thing. For me, hair dye, beard dye or whatever, it's like I am what I am. You know, if I get old, I get old. It's crazy to me that there's so many people who want to like be permanently young. That guy who's like trying to de-age himself. It's like, whatever, dude. You do you. But I'll say it for this lady, and I'll say it for the...
Tim has not spent a lot of time around old people. He's still only in his 30s. Because your body wearing out as you age, it is not an experience that anybody wants to go through, really. I mean, whether or not you live forever, that's a different story. I mean, but keeping people as fit and healthy as they are at 20, extending that time period out for like 80 years, that would be amazing. The one thing that people lament so much is that they lose their youth and vitality. I mean, who wants to be in a position where they can't walk fast? Oh, they can't take this risk or that risk because their body's just not going to bounce back. They're going to be sore. They're going to injure themselves or something. Simply because they've been on the earth longer. Wow. No, can't believe that he just said that. Like, oh yeah, he wants to de-age himself. What a crazy person. That's like, yeah, believe me, if you could turn the clock back 15 years to him, even Tim, he doesn't realize this. If he could somehow objectively observe himself 15 years ago and now, physically, just from a physical point of view, not from a mental point of view, because we tend to get a little bit better until we get up there in years. But physically, it's like, yeah, I'd rather not have to worry that, you know, I can't do that because I'm going to tweak my back, or if I stand here for too long, my feet are going to start hurting, etc. All these different things.
The incels she describes, she's wrong about it though. Be the best version of you. This lady is not the best version of herself. That's the reality. She's not the best version of herself. And if you're a dude who sits around playing video games all day, you can make it really simple. You can go exercise. If she described you with Cheeto dust or whatever, it's not that it's real. Some people maybe. Clean up, stop eating all the carbs, focus more on fats and meats, talk to a nutritionist about what's right for you, and then start exercising. Very lightly. Go for walks. Start walking around every single day. Find something that's going to get you active. Don't just accept being morbidly obese and complain about everybody else. And if you're mad that women want dudes who make more money, make more money. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. A lot of people, it's so annoying. Because I try to tell you, if you go to any one of these like high expense seminars with ultra wealthy people, and they're like, we're going to give you the tips to success and how to be rich, they're going to tell you much of the exact same thing I'm going to tell you. It really is a choice. Sorry.
Yeah, I wish it were that simple. I really do. I want to make more money. Okay. I've chosen to make more money. Oh, it's just coming to me. I can feel it right now. It's raining dollar bills on my head. No. Believe me, it's not. I've lost money on the stock market. I haven't made any money on YouTube. Right? This has just been a wasted adventure on my part. 4.5 years almost. Oh. Yeah. So I'm not making more money. It's not a choice. People who think that it's just a choice, you just go out and do whatever and you get it. No. There's a lot more to it than that. You have to choose to want to pursue that. And there's some people who just really are not interested and really just like, this is not where I want to focus. I was just watching a thing the other day on YouTube about IQ scores, IQ tests. And there doesn't really appear to be much of a correlation between intelligence and earning ability. There's some, but it's not as strong as we previously thought, or people, I think, generally think. So even if you're intelligent, you might not make a ton of money. And I can see that in my own family, based on how intelligent my siblings are and how much money they make compared to me. But
that's the truth. And there's a lot of people who are like, oh, Tim thinks being rich is a choice. I'll put it two ways. If you are not every day trying to brute force the system, figuratively, to figure out how to maximize revenue exchange, if you're not studying every day and reading about how businesses succeed, or actively just working every day, then don't complain. Don't complain. Because I'm not saying, that's what I mean by it's a choice. Because if you work 80 hours a week, you're going to make more money. Do you want to? Some people won't do it. They made that choice. I'm not saying everyone's going to be a millionaire. But I also think there's another component too that people don't realize, and it's who you know. And that's a reality. If you're friends with rich people, you're probably going to make more money. So going to areas that attracts wealth and networking is a key component. Why do people spend 10 grand to go to a seminar?
yeah, I've asked more than one millionaire, how do I get more money? How do I do what you've done? How do I make money? I want to have more money. Like, they won't give me an answer. So they give me some BS. Oh, I don't know how to do it. Today's different. Or, just save your money and then you can, put it into anything you want to. I'm like, oh yeah, gee, thanks. That there's some people living paycheck to paycheck and they can't just save their money and then put it into anything they want to. All right, well, there you have it. I mean, there's not really much else to this video. There was a lot of stuff that I thought was questionable in this one, and so I wanted to bring it to your attention. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate everybody stopping by, especially if you made it this far. And now here's your palate cleanser.
Okay. It's okay. What the hell? She on water. Hey, she on water. What the hell? Oh, shit. Hey, she trying to take out. She finna take out.